So recently, Kirsten Gillibrand, who's a Democrat from New York, made an announcement that was fairly large. Now, she did this over Twitter, and I want to show you this video, and then we'll break it down.
Because of the corrosive effect of corporate money in politics, I've decided from this point on, I am no longer accepting corporate PAC checks into my campaign. So one of the reasons why I'm so concerned about money in politics is because of the Supreme Court decision, Citizens United. We have a system where corporations can spend unlimited money that isn't even disclosed, so there's no transparency. Since I was first elected in 2006, I've made it my mission to create more transparency and accountability in Congress. And so I was the first member of Congress to actually post my schedule, my earmark requests, and my financial disclosure online. And I've since added to that my taxes. So I hope you will stand with me. We really need to make every effort we can to get rid of the corporate money and dark money that is flowing into politics. And my effort to ban corporate PAC checks is just a first step in that direction.
Okay, so I love that. For one, here you have another establishment Democrat that is saying, you know what? Turns out I'm not going to take corporate PAC money. That's awesome. That's great. Wonderful. It actually does show you that pressure does work. Now, of course, she did mention Citizens United. Citizens United isn't actually the main problem. I've mentioned before that it's actually the two decisions made back, I believe, in the 70s or 80s. One was Buckley Vallejo, and the other was Bellotti versus First Bank, or First National Bank. So those are the two decisions that, one, said that money is speech, and two, gave corporations unlimited speech rights. So that's when the great heist began. Citizens United is more of an after effect of those. But nonetheless, not to nitpick too much, I again have to give them credit. Now, to be fair, it's to be pointed out that Gillibrand has taken a lot of money from PACs and law firms, and in fact, just this year alone, she took a lot of money. However, now this stops. She's not going to take that money anymore. And that's actually a good thing. So, and she's not the only one. Now here comes Cory Booker. Now, Cory Booker is joining Senator Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Maria Cantwell, and now Kirsten Gillibrand in rejecting corporate PAC contributions. Now, he made his announcement also on Twitter. In a tweet, he said, "I heard from constituents today asking about corporate PAC contributions. I'm joining several of my colleagues in no longer accepting these contributions. Our campaign finance system is broken. I thank Stop Big Money for their work. It's time to pass campaign finance reform." Boom. Here we go again. Yes. Now, look, Booker also accepted about $1.8 million from business PACs from 2013 to 2018, according to Open Secrets. Now, again, he's taken a lot of money in the past, and now has decided, you know what? The winds are blowing this way. It turns out taking corporate money is incredibly unpopular. It's an unpopular thing to do. So I am now no longer going to take that money. Now, you guys know me, okay? You know I'm a cynical motherfucker. And I think a lot of you are too. And I'm with you on this, right? I'm not asking you to trust these politicians. In fact, or any politicians. In fact, I'm counting on you guys to actually pay attention to how much money if they break their promise, right? Now, I don't trust them. I don't trust any politician. But you shouldn't trust any politician. You should always hold them accountable. And so that's exactly what we should plan to do. We should continue to do to hold these people accountable. But nonetheless, I think this is a good decision. Now, some of you could also think about, well, why are they doing this now? Think about their motivations. Well, look, it's not a surprise that a lot of these people are thinking about running in 2020. So that said, if they do the right thing, if they stop taking corporate PAC money, then that's a good thing overall. I don't give a shit about their motivations. I don't care that they're going to run in 2020. Look, Bernie Sanders runs. I'm definitely going with that guy. Okay? And we all know this, right? Now, the good thing about this, as I said, the less corporate money they take, it has an effect of having them have to rely on regular people, right? Actual human beings for their donations, people who are not millionaires and billionaires or corporations. That means regardless of their feelings on the issue, they may have to now start to represent us and our interests on these issues. Again, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep an eye on them. Of course we should keep an eye on them. They're politicians, and we should watch them and see where they're getting their money. Hold them accountable and be skeptical. But if this is the way the winds are blowing, and it's starting to look like it, I mean, can you imagine now? Like, back in 2012, they weren't talking about this. They weren't talking about, these politicians were not coming out and saying, okay, not taking corporate or PAC money. You know, this is what this is an effect of? Bernie Sanders running in 2016 and running a campaign where he raised millions of dollars, not from corporate PACs or super PACs or anything like that, but from regular people, $27 at a time. Bernie Sanders showed them. This is a direct effect of the leftward shift within the Democratic Party and activists that are pushing against corporate control of the party. It is having an impact. We are pushing them left. I know sometimes it doesn't seem like that, okay? I understand. And I know you guys, a lot of people, like I said, we're all skeptical. But we are having an effect. We are pushing these people left. And that is a good thing overall. There is a small victory here, and I intend to take it. Now, that doesn't mean our job's done yet. No, it's not even close. This is just the beginning. But again, in these times, wins like this are very welcome and should be celebrated because there are a lot of people that worked really hard to push these politicians leftward. So I think, look, this, in Washington, this is actually a bold stance. For regular people like us, we're like, yeah, of course, get away from the corruption. The corruption is incredibly unpopular among regular people. But when we're talking about people that are in the Washington bubble, this is still considered a radical stance. So what I want you guys to do, and I've done it earlier, just send a tweet or something, or Facebook message Kirsten Gillibrand. Thank her for doing this. Thank Cory Booker for doing the right thing. Show them that this is what they want. And more importantly, send a message to the Democratic Party that if you do this, that if you actually try to represent regular people and no longer represent corporate donors, then we're going to be behind you because we know that you'll be behind us and not behind your donors. See, this is the corruption. We don't like the corruption. But if you remove the corruption, which is the corrupting influence of money, then yes, we will be with you if you were with us. And look, if you don't take all that, for example, health insurance money, lobbyist money from these corporations, then you're going to vote right on the issues most of that time. Because again, we are telling you, and we are funding you. We're the ones funding your campaign, and we want Medicare for all, for example. Well, if you're not taking Medicare, or pharmaceutical checks or health insurance lobbyist checks, but instead taking money from regular people who can say, if you don't follow what we want, we're not going to vote for you. We're going to pull our money from the campaign. They're going to have to follow what you say. It's actual representation. Wouldn't that be amazing if we actually had representation? And so, yes, I think this is a good thing, right? Telling the Democratic Party, sending that message that if you support us, then we will actually support you by not taking that corporate money and by voting the right way, the way that most of the American people want you to vote. And that's for things like Medicare for all. And that's for things like a living wage. And that's for things like like education, right? Tuition-free education. So, yes, if you cut ties with the corporations and you work to end our corrupt system, politicians, then we will support you. We will watch you. We will make sure that you stick to this and that you do what we elect you to do and what we pay you to do. Then we will support you. We will be behind you as long as you're behind us. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.